Solemn, reflective music starts softly in the background. Picture this. A man just like any of us standing at a crossroads. Not a literal one, but one in his life. A storm was brewing on his horizon. It wasn't a storm of rain and thunder, but one of exhaustion, of whispered worries from his doctor, of seeing the concern in his family's eyes. It was a life-altering storm, the kind that threatens to wash away everything you hold dear. He saw two paths stretching out before him clear as day. Down one path he saw comfort. The couch, the late-night snacks, the "I'll start tomorrow" mantra. He saw the storm getting closer, the winds of poor health picking up speed, threatening to tear apart the future he'd always dreamed of with his family. He saw himself becoming a spectator in his own life, watching from the sidelines as his kids grew up, too tired, too unwell to join in. It was the easy path, the path of least resistance, but he knew deep down it led to regret, becoming more determined and hopeful. Then he looked down the other path. This one was different. It was steep, rocky, and uphill. At the start of this path stood a gym. It looked intimidating. The weights looked heavy, the work looked hard. This path led directly into the heart of the storm. It meant facing the discomfort, the soreness, the early mornings. It meant saying no to old habits and yes to a challenge. It was the hard path. And right there, standing between the familiar comfort of decline and the terrifying promise of a fight, he made a determination. A choice. He wouldn't just brace for the storm. He wouldn't hide from it. Music swells, becoming more powerful and motivational. He decided to face it, to walk right into it and overcome it. He chose the gym. He chose the struggle. He chose himself, for his family, for his future. He picked up the weights one rep at a time. He laced up his sneakers one step at a time. He started fighting back. And you know what happens when you run headfirst into a storm like that? When you refuse to be broken by it, the storm passes. And in its wake, something incredible happens. Music becomes triumphant and joyful. The storm was over. And where there was once weakness, there was now strength. Where there was fear, there was now inspiration. He wasn't just a man who survived. He was a man who had grown. He was stronger, not just in body, but in spirit. He was muscle-bound, yes, but more importantly, he was filled with a happiness and a joy he hadn't felt in years. He was no longer a spectator. He was chasing his kids in the park, lifting them high into the air. He was a living, breathing example that the greatest obstacles in our lives aren't there to stop us. They're there to show us what we're truly capable of. He didn't just overcome the obstacle, he became more because of it. What storm are you facing, and which path will you choose?